Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're making this. This project is going to be made with this color. So this is golden beige. Let me find it here. This is golden beige, and then it's by Lips and Threads, impeccable. It calls for a 5mm. When you see 6mm written over here, that's what the pattern calls for. So if you look up here, that's what the yarn calls for, 5mm. So you don't have to use the same colors. And then I just grabbed a Sprite can when I made mine, just to make sure it was going to be the right size. Now I'm going to use a 4mm G hook. If you find that you can't get the can in once you've got it so far built, which we'll do in the video, then you're obviously a tight crocheter and will have to go up in hook size. Now I am a loose crocheter, so we're just gonna have to try with the Sprite can to see, or whatever can. Just grab a can, whether it's a beer can or whatever. So here I am, partway through my rows of 21. Row 21. I'm about 10 rows in, and I want to check to make sure that my can is going to be okay, and it is. So that's just what I need you to do. Now it should be nice and snug, but still, like, not tight. It still should move up and down and be nice and snug. So I'm putting this at the beginning of the video just so that you have an idea of what it should look like and what my gauge is. So in 4 inches, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 14, 16, 18 stitches. So that's my gauge. So I'm pretty loose gauge. I'm a loose crocheter. I'm a loose gauger. So, but I mean, you can just go by the pop can. If you can just set your pop can in there and it still moves up and down, you know that it is perfect. So let's start this with a magic ring of 6 single crochets. If you're not familiar with the magic ring, you can do a chain 2 and then put everything into the first stitch. This is built in amigurumi, so you will need a stitch marker. Your first round is going to be 2 single crochets in each stitch around. So you don't slip stitch, you don't chain. This is amigurumi, so you go into the first stitch and make your stitch and put a stitch marker on it. Stitch number 2 can go into that same space. 2 single crochets in each space around will give you 12 stitches. I'm going to pull my middle closed and I'm going to make a knot, but I'm still going to weave in my end probably. Your next round is going to be 1 single crochet and an increase. That's 1 single crochet. And that gets your marker. The next stitch is the increase, so that's 2 single crochets in the same space. And repeat. for a total of 18 stitches. Your next round is going to be 2 single crochets and an increase. And this will bring you up to 24 stitches. The marker is always number 1. That's 2 single crochets, and then your increase of 2 single crochets in the same space. And repeat. Your next round is going to be 3 single crochets and an increase. And this will bring it up to 30 stitches. That's number 1. That's 3 single crochets, and then your increase of 2 single crochets in the same space. Your next round is going to be 4 single crochets and an increase, and this will bring it up to 36 stitches. That's number 1. That is 4 single crochets, and then your increase of 2 single crochets in the same space. And repeat. So that's as far as we are going, and that should cover exactly the bottom of your can. So we're going to go into the back loops now for this next row, and we're just going to do 1 single crochet in each of these 36 stitches right into these back loops. So this part is what's gonna take it from being flat to having sides, just like that. So for the next 21 rows, I just want you to put 1 single crochet in each of these stitches. And I will see you on the other side. So that is my 21 rows. you can fasten off. So you just need a weaving tail. Before I weave, I'm going to go up through this stitch and then down through the back loop before I fastened off-ish, so that just looks like a stitch. Plenty of different ways to do this, but that's my go-to. Sometimes I don't worry about it, and sometimes I do. There we go. So you can have a little bit of a jog. So plenty of room for your mouth and for somebody to, get in there and grab the piece. Plenty of room for your lips to drink without touching the thing. So next we'll make the other parts. I don't think I can say that on YouTube. Next we'll make the other parts with the bikini top. So we're going to start this with the same magic ring of 6 single crochets. I'm going to do one with you, and then I'll put the pattern up and you can do the other one. So again, if you struggle with the magic ring, do a chain 2 and put 6 single crochets into the first stitch. I do have a short on how to do that, by the way. So your next round is going to be 2 single crochets in each stitch. For a total of 12. And again, I'm just going to tighten this at the back and create a knot. Your next round is going to be 1 single crochets and an increase. That's 1 single crochet. And then your next stitch gets the increase of 2 single crochets in the same space. And repeat for a total of 18 stitches. Your next round is going to be 2 single crochets and an increase, and this will bring it up to 24 stitches. That's number 1 with the marker. That's number 2, and then your increase of 2 single crochets in the same space. So you should have 24 stitches. For the next 3 rows, I just want you to put 1 single crochet in each of these 24 stitches. And I will see you on the other side. So that's my 3 rows is what you should have. So we're going to start to decrease. And we're going to do a 2 single crochet decrease. That's number 1. That's number 2. And then a regular decrease would be going into the full stitch, pulling up a loop, going into the next full stitch, pulling up the loop, yarn over and pulling through all 3 loops. I'm going to do invisible decreases, which means I'm going to pop into the front loop of this stitch, and then I'm going to pop around to the front loop of the second stitch. I did not yarn over in between. Now I'm going to yarn over, pull through, and then finish the stitch. So it cuts down on how much gapping you get here because you've still got this behind sitting in the same spot. But you can choose to do whichever decrease that you're comfortable with doing. So this would have brought you back down to 18 stitches, and now your next round is going to be 1 single crochet and a decrease, and it'll bring you down to 12. So that's 1 single crochet, so you jump right into your decrease. So that is it. You can fasten off. And we're going to stuff this, and you're going to need a sewing tail. We're going to stuff it, we're going to cinch it. I did a mattress stitch with this just because it's a way better hold. So I will show you that before I let you go to do the other pattern. I'll show you how I attached it, and then you can do your other one and sew it on. So we're going in and out of the front loops. In case you're wondering what I'm doing, we're cinching. So in and out of the front loops, and then you're going to pull your ball closed, and then we're going to put a knot in it a couple of ways if you wanted to. And pull back and forth because it really tightens it right down, in case you're wondering why I always do this. So we're going to use these posts right here to fasten it. So I'm just going to weave up to where I need to be. And I keep the can in because it is way easier to do with the can in. So here where you fastened off, you got that little bit of a jog. We're just going to put that. Whoa. We're just going to put that at the back. So I'm now in a location where I can pick up my posts, and I'm using these posts like I've already stated. So a mattress stitch is going to be picking up a post from here, picking up a post from here. And that's how we're going to do it. So I did about the 4th row down. That's where I started to pick up posts. So I'm going to pick up my first post on my item, and then 4 rows down I'm going to pick up a post down here. You don't have to pull yet. And then I'm going to pop over and pick up another post. I'm keeping them pretty close together and picking up the next post. So it's like grafting, because I'm going to go back in the hole I came out of last time to pick up the next post. So you can do a few before you have to really pull, but that's how I attached it. And then once you've got them all on there, you can just pull, and it'll pull that right down. And then you just continue picking up posts. You can do a few before you have to pull, so that makes it a little more comfortable as far as sewing. Now the longer you wait, the longer you have, or the harder you have to pull. So, because it's a circle, I kind of just pull as I go. So you get a look where, you know, it's hard to tell that you've just sewed something on. So I'm going to put the pattern on the screen, and you can go ahead and make your second ball. And then I'll meet you right back here, and we can probably sew it on together, because I'm going to show you how to get super duper close to the other one so that these are right side by each. But if you already know what you're doing and how to sew, then go ahead and sew your second one on. So when it comes to sewing the other one on and trying to get as close as you possibly can, I literally go in here like right up against it. And because you're doing a mattress stitch, it's not so bad. It's hard to kind of get in there in a few spots, but like it's so close. But you only got to do it for probably 6 stitches or 6 posts. And then you can kind of start to get away from it. That's how we get so close. So I'm going to kind of angle out away from it this time because I need to follow the circle. So I'm going to go down in here, and I'm going to pop across to the next ball. It's tight down in there, but you can pull it through. And then I'm going to meet up with this guy here. I'm going to tie these in a double knot. So I'm not going to pull tight on the first knot, but I will on the second knot. And then I'm going to weave. So nothing should happen to your balls. They should, so once you pull, that knot gets sucked down inside. Here we go. Now on to the bikini part. So get whatever color you're going to use for your bra or bikini top. And I'm going to use this blue color because this is just going to my husband, so I'm going to use whatever color. Whatever color I have sitting here. Because I don't think he really cares what color I use. So we're going to start this one with a long tail slip knot. So a long tail slip knot is just that. You put a long tail on it before you make your slip knot. So we're going to chain 2. And in this first stitch, I'm going to put 2 single crochets. I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to turn my work. In this first stitch, I'm going to do 2 single crochets. And in this next stitch, I'm going to do 2 single crochets. Chain 1, turn my work. And now I'm going to do 2 single crochets into the first stitch. 2 single crochets across. And then 2 single crochets into the last stitch. Chain 1, turn your work. Now for the next 2 rows, I just want you to put 1 single crochet in each stitch. So that's what you should have. This little triangle you can fasten off. And then you're going to make another one just like this. So this doesn't have to be a sewing tail because we're going to tuck that part in. So you can just fasten off regularly. And then this tail gets weaved in. There. That's what you should have. Now, your tail, your long tail slip knot doesn't need to be quite this long, but we are going to be using this to meet up and tie a knot and, you know, all that stuff. So go ahead and make your second one. So I've got both mine done. So make sure you've got the front facing where your stitches are. My blue. So you're going to make a chain 17. Make sure when you have a decent tail over here. So that's my chain 17. So now I'm going to insert into the first stitch over here. And I'm going to do a slip stitch all along the top for 6 slip stitches. That was hard to say. So now I'm going to chain 3, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to slip stitch my way along the top. And I'm going to chain 17. And fasten off. There we go. So first things first. Let's take our 2 pieces here. So these go on like this. So you're gonna stick this up here and just pop out somewhere. Doesn't matter where you pop out. Do the same thing for the other side, but I want you to pop out meeting that guy. You don't need to do it right away. We could do it in stages. So make sure you've got this in the same spot. And you're going to go and pop out in the same spot. Making sure they're in the exact same spot. We're going to do the same thing we always do for everything. We're going to make a knot, and then we're going to make a tight double knot. And then you can weave and get rid of these pieces because we're done. Make sure you pull that knot down. And then this can get brought up, wrapped around to the back. Just make sure it all lines up, like your middle of your cleavage to where you're tying it. I'm going to tie this. A tight double knot. So we got the chain tied tight. So when you tie a chain, the percentage of it just staying there is pretty good. So that's putting our little bikini top on. You can take your can out now. So we're going to weave this because we don't want this dropping down every time somebody takes their can in and out, we don't want this moving. So we're just going to weave through with both of our pieces in 2 different spots. So I don't want you coming through the same hole. And then we're going to tie it again at the back in a double knot. This should not impede the can at all. And then just pop out back through. Now you can choose whether you want to keep your little bra straps down here at the back or what you want to do. Whoa, almost dropped my can. So this here at the back is completely your decision what you want to do with it. But I would say I'm going to cut a little bit off, keeping my ties at the back like a bikini top. And there we have it. This is our bikini top beer cozy. Just a fun little project that I was requested to do, so here we go. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'll see you in the next video.